All right. Looks like.
All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And welcome to another edition of Smart with Your Money Live. I am Chase Peckham. I am the Director of Community Outreach and Education at the San Diego Financial Literacy Center, the education arm of DebtWave Credit Counseling. And today, this is actually very timely for me, Phil. And I think for a lot of people the last number of years, self-care has really run to the forefront, but it can be extraordinarily expensive. If you look at Instagram or Facebook or any of those targeted ads, if you're looking for those kinds of things, you can find them anything between, the biggest rage right now is gut health, which is really true. We need gut health. But I mean, you can find every probiotic in the world on these things, but expensive workout costs, all different kinds of self-care is really super in right now. But it's true, it's needed, but it doesn't have to be expensive.
Right. And, we covered this on the last one, so you can always go back and watch that one if you'd like. But money causes stress. According to the American Psychological Association study, 60% of Americans reported that money causes stress, and we're a money thing, so stress goes hand in hand with money. So we need to tell you how to de-stress. But it's very important that you take care of yourself. Please, please, please. And I got this quote from the Southern New Hampshire University. Engaging in a self-care routine has been clinically proven to reduce or eliminate anxiety and depression, reduce stress, improve concentration, minimize frustration and anger, increase happiness, improve energy, and more. And the quote continues, from a physical health perspective, self-care has been clinically proven to reduce heart disease, stroke, and cancer. And spiritually, it may help keep you in tune with our higher powers, as well as realize your meaning in life. So there's science behind it. There's, taking care of yourself can help you reduce stress. And I threw in some science throughout the presentation. I apologize, but it's there. There's been studies done, and it's important to take care of yourself. A little bit of a side note, it's kind of like the airplane air mask. You want to take care of yourself so that you can better take care of others. So don't forget, and sometimes it's easy to try and take care of everyone else first, but you got to take care of yourself so then you could be of more help to others that you're trying to help out.
100%. If you can't take care of yourself, it's very difficult to take care of others, and they can feel it as well.
So put on that air mask first and then go out and help as many people as you can. It can't be a self-care thing without going over my personal favorite, hiking.
There wouldn't be it wouldn't be a financial literacy center presentation without Phil mentioning hiking.
I know it's in like 90% of the presentations,
but it's beautiful. It can be really great.
And you can you get some exercise in, you get some fresh air, some sunlight. If it's available in your area, weather permits it, health permits it, get out there, go on a hike. If you've never done it before, sometimes do some research online, see what's easy. Start with an easy one, work your way up, moderate. If you want to get extreme later on, you might have a better idea of what you're doing, but be safe out there and get out there and hike. But it's not for everyone. I know, because I worked really hard to convince some people to go hiking. Example, my brother growing up and now my wife, and they both dislike it, but they go every once in a while. Some people just want to get outdoors, though. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to go hiking to enjoy the outdoors. Go camping. If you have the gear, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Do a bonfire if you're near a beach that allows bonfires, or just sit outside and take in the sunlight, or take in the moonlight, or roast some marshmallows over a fire. Getting outdoors, getting that air, that sunlight, that just change of scenery sometimes can be enough. If you don't,
even if it's a picnic, right? Just anywhere at a local park. Have your kids running around, sitting in this beautiful sun, getting that vitamin D that is so important for all of us.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to cost you any money. You can just walk around your neighborhood if you have to. And there's definitely a lot of benefits to go along with that. So from my favorite to Chase's favorite, get yourself do some at-home workouts.
You're going to throw me into this. Attaboy.
Get on your Peloton bike if you have one, on your other workout machines, or just start pushing away and getting some push-ups done, whatever home workout you like, whether it's yoga or whether it's extreme, trying to keep up with, mountain biking or whatever it is that you like to do. Get yourself an at-home workout. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. There's YouTube videos you could watch for free on everything. Some of the streaming services you already pay for, like
Right.
an Amazon Prime or Hulu or things like that, will have workout videos in there. You just have to look for them.
And I'm sorry to the gym industry. I mean, but it can be very cost effective to with TVs as large as they are now, as cheap as they are now. You can, and if you have a little bit of space, you got somebody pushing you. It feels like you're working out with somebody. And I'll tell you what, this was an absolute godsend for Carrie and I and our family during the pandemic. So many people were like, oh, what do I do without my gym? And we happened to get the Peloton 6 months before the pandemic hit. So we were already kind of into it after doing Beachbody for years to stay in physical condition. But it just, for everything from a stress level of, gosh, I got to get to the gym. You can work these workouts around your own time now. And that's really and it doesn't matter what you do. And it's not just Peloton bikes. It's all kinds of different workouts, whether it's weight workouts or body workouts, yoga, Pilates. We're talking boxing now. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Just get that heart rate going, get your body moving, and the stress levels, I can tell you, it's really, really been minimizing. It's great.
Yeah. So, and you don't have to go anywhere. You could do it. It doesn't matter what the weather is. You don't even need a lot of room. You just need a TV and just a little bit of room to move around. So
the funny thing is that I wish you could have used a picture of me, because my dogs, both Jackson when he was alive and now Tito, I'll do push-ups and they lick my face as I go down. It's like a thing. They like the sweat.
Thing. They like that. Yeah. I mean, it's and it can be free, which is big. Or maybe you're looking around and you're like, I don't really have a lot of space. I got a lot of stuff laying around. Well, then we have a solution for that as well. How about you declutter your home, your car, or your office, or all three? Go Marie Kondo on it and pick it up and see if it sparks joy or if it doesn't. And go ahead and declutter and make the room for the workout, or just make room to kind of feel like you're in a new space. I know, Chase, I think you're pretty big on decluttering as well.
I am, and it's amazing. When my wife was diagnosed with her cancer, she went through obviously a lot of stress, and it goes through financially, but our home got completely redone. And I don't mean redone like we bought it. She just moved everything around. She decluttered our garage. You want to talk about a lot of nervous energy that she got rid of. Doing the house and the backyard and all that stuff was therapeutic for her. In fact, for me, it's my car. Every day, every week that my wife has treatment, my routine is I go get my car wash, and I have it's $15 a month. I can get unlimited car washes, and it's phenomenal. But I literally, that is a very much a de-stressing thing for me, is to get my truck in order before I take Carrie to her treatment. So this is a real thing.
Yeah, and it's one that I haven't practiced the best of my abilities at all times. I tend to have a mess sometimes, as you guys remember from The Office. I'm doing a much better job with my home office. My
You
car,
do like clutter.
much better. It just doesn't bother me. But then sometimes it slowly builds, and then when you get to the point where you like deep clean your car, and all of a sudden it's like nothing there, you're like, oh wow, that's what my floors look like. This is cool. I like it. So decluttering can definitely have some benefit to go along with it.
Yeah, especially for your neighbors, like when Katie was your next door neighbor in the office back in the day.
People would always go and complain to Sarah about my desk. Like, have you seen his desk? She's like, yeah, go tell him. So decluttering your home, your car, your office, you spend a lot of time there. Decluttering, it may help you kind of change the scenery. This next one's easy. I think we're all big fans of it here on the podcast anyways. Drink more water.
Yeah.
it it seems pretty easy, but there's science behind it. Again, I apologize for the science, but it's a real thing. Studies have shown that being just a half liter dehydrated actually increases your cortisol levels. I got that off WebMD. So drink water. Even maybe you need to help your friends and family drink some water. But there's a benefit to just staying hydrated, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It may cost a little extra planning where you have to have a cup of water next to you at all times, or one of those insulated bottles, or whatever works for you.
Right. And if you get tired of water, there's things you can do that are super healthy too. You can squeeze a little bit of lime or lemon in it. Because people say, and I have to admit, I drink so much water, I get tired of it sometimes, but you can't, whether it's bubbly water, you can have seltzer water, something like that. But it's so much better for you than drinking soft drinks and sugary drinks, which is a big issue for health reasons.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the habit of bringing a water bottle with me to bed. That way in the morning, first thing, I chug a water bottle, not like a reusable one. I mean, a reusable one, not like a plastic one. And that way I get that first burst of water in first thing in the morning, even before I get to my coffee. And that kind of make sure that I drink enough of it.
But it's one of those things. Sometimes spending a little bit more will save you a lot. And so if you buy something like a Hydro Flask, a little bit more that keeps your water cold for really long periods of time, even overnight, I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I drink a ton of water at night because you get super dehydrated overnight typically. And so I'll drink a lot of water and it keeps that water pretty cold.
Yeah. And they have like the Hydro Flask type container things sometimes for pretty cheap at like Costco, the different brand ones, but they get the same idea. I got a drawer full of them.
But in fact, we have to declutter water bottles in this family because of sports.
So, but yeah, they're great. You drop like 1 or 2 ice cubes, it'll keep it cold all night. You wake up in the morning, you might still have ice cubes in there. But whatever you need to do, get that water in. Next is reduce your social media, both intake and output. Don't be stressing about, in this case, posting pictures of your food. Enjoy the food, enjoy the moment. But also if social media is stressing you, what you're seeing other people sharing, sometimes, with their different views or different things that you might not agree with. If you're stressing about social media, if you find yourself on there and it says you're all caught up and you're like, wow, I've been scrolling for forever, reduce the use, put it away, hide the apps on your phone, so that it's harder to access, log out of them, just try and, be on there less.
That's something that we've heard of
benefit
through our podcast and listening to people. I was speaking at a conference the other weekend last Saturday, and a lot of people have said they've kind of put their social media on the background a little bit, and it's helped dramatically as far as their stress levels. And it can be whether you're a person that posts, like last night we watched a show. I'll give a little shout out. It's a follow-up from How I Met Your Mother. It's called How I Met Your Father on Hulu. And it was funny. There was this girl who literally had 20,000 followers or something like that. And she was so stressed out if she didn't post every 5 seconds, which is kind of the opposite, but it's just such a weird phenomenon that we all live in, where we feel like we're going to miss the world if we're not scrolling our phones.
Yeah, well, I think it's important for both the people consuming and then the people who feel the urge like they have to share everything. So, turn off the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Snapchats, the Twitters, the, all TikToks and everything, and just kind of enjoy. I see it even sometimes when people are hiking, they're sitting there taking pictures, trying to get the perfect picture with the perfect angle and the perfect lighting. How about you just take in the view, take in the walk, and just kind of enjoy the moment, whatever it is you're doing. You're at your kid's soccer game, snap a quick picture if you need to, but don't have to try and, get that perfect shot the whole game. Enjoy the game, and, just kind of live in the moment, and maybe that could be a big stress reliever. Kind of along the same lines, stop doom scrolling. If you're looking for bad news, that's a term? It's a thing. Yeah.
It's a real thing. Okay.
If you're looking for bad news, somewhere in the world, you're going to find it. And with a 24-hour news cycle, there's a constant, if you're sitting there and you're like, I just read about this, or you're watching TV and you're like, oh, that story again, as you've been watching, maybe you've been watching a little too long. Turn it off and try and do something else. Look up from the screen, and catch yourself sometimes when you're like, oh man, I'm really into this. Maybe I need to go do something else. But stop the extra scrolling, and maybe you lay off the news for a little, or maybe you're selective and you say, you know what, I'm only going to read the news from this time to this time, or I'm only going to allow myself to check the news this. So it's good to be informed. I'm not saying the news are bad or anything, but sometimes overconsumption, like anything else, can cause people stress. Yeah. So just kind of put it away.
One thing I've learned for me in that kind of thing, I'll read about it in a quick snippet. So I'm not kind of behind on what's going on in the world, but I don't need to visually see the mayhem. And it's kind of like when people, there's an accident on the freeway, people, you don't want to look, but people want to look. Yeah. For some reason, we want to see something grotesque or something bad. But I have found that it has helped me quite a bit in not seeing the visuals, the video of that kind of thing. Yeah. Reading about it so you're not behind, you're keeping up with what's going on, but the visuals can be really difficult after a time. They add up.
And maybe you find like a reputable newsletter type thing that helps you catch up once a day, where you can kind of page through the different, whichever one you want to listen to or read, and then you read the little snippets, like you said, once a day or twice a day, and then carry on with your day and not have to spend hours on it. This next one is free. Probably, a lot of us could use it more. Sleep more. The CDC actually, according to the CDC, adults 18 to 60 should be sleeping 7 or more hours a day.
More science.
I know. If you're not sleeping enough, the little comic said, too tired to cook, too tired to clean, too tired to work, and then maybe even too tired to sleep. It doesn't make sense, but it happens.
Oh yeah.
It allows the stress to relieve as you go. So just try and get to sleep at a regular time. Look, I'm as guilty of it as the next person. Maybe I'll get stuck watching a show and like one more episode, or everyone's gone to bed and now I get to finally play the video games I want, and I lose sleep because of it. So, just try and get that extra sleep. It's definitely going to be of benefit to you at some point down the road. And it builds over time. Constant lack of sleep just kind of builds up, and that can add stress to your life.
Absolutely.
Next is eat better. Sometimes just eating better can change your whole outlook on things. Chase mentioned, gut health. You can accomplish that by just eating a little better. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of times a whole lot more than not eating good. Sometimes it takes a little extra time to prepare it or cook it. Eating vegetables. I was watching a master class.
We're finding the right recipe.
Finding the right one for you. I was watching a master class with Chef Roy Choi, and he mentioned on there, we spend too much time trying to get our kids to eat their vegetables. Maybe spend more of that time trying to make the vegetables not taste crappy. And then maybe the kids will just eat them if they just.
You wonder why we hated vegetables. Our parents boiled them.
They steamed them and they boiled them up, and then there you go,
bland and gross.
Right. So maybe you add a little seasoning. Maybe you figure out a way to make those vegetables not terrible. And it helps. I put
mine in a smoothie every morning. I eat it twice a day.
Yeah, hide them. Which is putting them in a smoothie and hide them.
That's right.
Mix them into something that you do enjoy. But just try and make an effort to eat better, to eat healthier. Pick up I'm trying this new thing. I'm gonna try and eat an apple a day, because that old apple a day keeps
the doctor away.
Exactly. But I read a thing last night where it was saying, I was gonna go to Costco last night, and then I read this thing that said like the health benefits of it. I don't remember them all, but there was a lot of them. And I was like, that's pretty easy. And I enjoy apples. So I
Mhm.
bought a box of apples last night.
With a little
Uh,
peanut butter. Oh,
my wife was saying with peanut butter, I just want to bite it and just eat the apple.
so good.
But she was saying she has the little apple cutter and she'll be eating them with peanuts, which is a
There you
good
go.
thing because I bought a
Yeah,
whole box of them. So
super healthy.
eat better. And hide the veggies, eat the fruits that you like. Try and make the veggies taste good and incorporate them
Make
when
sure
you
you
can.
eat the peel because the
Yes.
skin, that's where all
Yes,
the
if you're
vitamins
eating
and
an
everything is.
apple, don't peel the apple because the majority of the vitamins are actually in the peel. That was
Yes,
one
all
of
the
the things
benefits,
they
all the
did say.
fiber, it's right there.
Yeah. So
That dog is cute, by the way.
I know you'll notice apparently I put a lot of dog gifts or
Animal
gifts.
therapy.
Yeah, not just animal, but any kind of cuddle time that you can get a hold of. If you have kids, if you have a significant other, there's actually this quote from WebMD: "When you cuddle with someone you care about, your body releases a hormone called oxycontin, oxytocin. Oxycontin would be the
Oxytocin.
medicine. That would be the wrong thing. Um, that
Excuse me.
calms you and makes you more likely to deal better with stress. So
Yes.
cuddle, and find other forms to release that oxytocin. And maybe cuddle. If you have pets, then cuddle with your pets. If you got kids, cuddle with your kids. If you got a significant other, then maybe get some cuddle time in. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll help you in the long run. It sounds silly, but there's some science behind it.
Without question, you ever notice the kids that they have their favorite stuffed animal or their favorite blanket
yeah.
or all that stuff, and they cuddle it? It's soothing.
Yeah.
I mean that happens from a very early age.
Yeah, exactly. They got that special stuffed animal. My kids got a cold this last weekend, and all of a sudden you see my little 3-year-old, really holding on tight to his little snuggle animal.
The Velveteen Rabbit. This
There
is
you
like
go.
the Velveteen Turtle. We got this for my daughter when she was 1 year old at SeaWorld. My daughter's going to be 12 next week. And Turtle is still going strong,
Yeah,
although with lots and lots of different
it's
threads.
a bit more wear and
She's
tear.
been stitched a few times,
Yeah,
but Turtle
my
doesn't go anywhere
8-year-old
with, she doesn't go anywhere without it except school.
Yeah, my 8-year-old loves his. He's got his little stuffed dog. It's called Ruff Ruff, and he had a bring a buddy friend to coupon because he won some award, so he gets to bring a stuffed animal, and he is so happy to bring it today. So there's that. If you have someone to cuddle up with, go ahead and cuddle up and see where that takes you and how that changes your stress. Or, you know what? You want to deal with it on your own? How about an at-home spa day? Doesn't have to cost you a lot. Maybe you grab your new favorite book. Maybe you buy yourself. I should have added reading. I just bought myself a book yesterday. But candles doesn't have to cost you a lot. Your favorite cup of
Aromas.
coffee or tea. Maybe tea because it'll soothe you more than give you caffeine. And I saw there's like a million DIY when I was trying to find an image for a home spa day. Honestly, they have tons of DIY spa date ideas. I even saw one. It said Dollar Tree spa day idea where they bought the basket and everything in it at the Dollar Tree. So you can do it at a very affordable price. A lot of those things you might be able to make it a spa weekend and reuse those or whatever you didn't finish the first day. So try an at-home spa day. Paint your nails, do your thing at home, and that might be, it doesn't cost you as much as if you did it at a place, and maybe it'll bring you some of those same benefits. You won't catch me doing a spa date anytime soon, but it was a great idea. And then if all hope fails and stress is getting the better of you, sometimes you just got to be like Forrest Gump and just run. Run, scream, cry, let the energy out, talk to someone. If I'm really feeling stressed, that's just put on the running shoes and run until the hamstrings, knees, or lungs give up, and then walk your way home or get an Uber. But but sometimes you just need to scream into a pillow, or you need a good cry, or you just need to talk to someone. But definitely, and that all doesn't cost a lot of money, and you could just do it. So different things, there's tons of different things. This is just a short list. If you're looking for even more options and you like reading, I recommend you check out the 50 free and affordable self-care ideas blog on the DebtWave website. Katie wrote that up, and she came up with 50 ideas. Some of them you'll see from the presentation. There's a little bit of an overlap, but I couldn't fit 50 in here. So check that out, see which ones work for you. And the ones that work for me are not going to be the ones that work for Chase, or not going to be the ones that work for you. Everyone is going to be different. They're not even going to be the same ones that work for the same people in your household. Hiking is a stress reliever for me. Hiking is a strenuous, I have to go work out type of thing for my wife. She'll do it now because we're trying to get healthy. I'm relaxing. She's not. She's working out. So there's a different dynamic to all of it for everyone. So check it out, or share with us any questions or what works for you. Drop that in the chat. If you're on Facebook, drop it in a comment and it'll get relayed over to us. And take a listen there. You can also continue learning. We have our podcast. It's called Talk Wealth to Me. Get it wherever you get your other favorite podcasts. And we actually have a self-help episode or two. I should have linked it on there, but I believe it's episode number 68, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. That was just a wild guess from what I thought I saw it in earlier in the week. But, there's a lot of different options out there. And you can always continue learning. And then lastly, join us for the next episode, Tips for Funding Your Emergency Savings Accounts. That's April 13th. You can register on Eventbrite. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Are there any questions? I don't know if there's any questions on this one or any anecdotes. Anybody got any other ideas? All right. Just make sure you drink your Kangen water. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.